Hi, Brian. A couple of things. The league-owned TV network said today that the extent of Tua's health issue is bruised ribs. He has nothing worse than that. I just wanted to ask you if that's correct, and also has Will Fuller returned to the building today?
Yeah, Tua's obviously he went out of the game yesterday. We're still running some tests. He's in a lot of pain yesterday. Still in a good deal of pain today, but I think we'll call him day to day right now. As far as Will was here today, and we expect him here this week as well.
Thank you.
Daniel?
Hey, Brian, I wanted to ask you, after watching the film of yesterday's game and evaluating the offensive line as a whole, are you contemplating any changes to the line, whether that's internal or external?
I don't think we did really anything well yesterday, offensively, defensively, or in a kicking game. We got a lot of things we need to improve on. Specific to the O-line, I think it was communication, it was fundamentals and techniques that were an issue, and we got to play a lot better on the offensive line and really across the board offensively. And as a team, it starts with me. We'll do a better job of getting them prepared and ready to play. And yes, we'll take a look at personnel and see if we need to make any changes to play better than we did yesterday.
Omar?
In terms of a lot of those blitzes that were coming from the edge, how responsible were the tight ends and the backs in those situations? And also, what was the receivers' roles in terms of their hot routes?
I'd have to, we'd have to talk specifically on some specific plays, but there were some hots and sight adjusts that we didn't throw, that we should have thrown. There were some miss IDs and miscommunication on the offensive line. Between the center, the quarterback, and we have to get that better. We have to get that right. We have to get that corrected. And then, there was also some technique and fundamental issues. You mentioned the tight ends. We'd have to talk specifically about, any specific play. There were some instances where they were in protection as well. But we got to do a better job really at all positions. So side adjusts and hots, like you mentioned, that's part of it. Identification and, look, they were kind of, they don't make it easy. Nobody makes it easy. But we got to be able to see it, recognize it, make the right ID, and get it blocked.
David Lang, Channel 10.
Hey, Flo. You've seen Tua go through a lot in his first two seasons, just physically coming back from the hip and some of the other injuries. What can you tell me about Tua's toughness that you've seen? If it is a question of pain management, his ability to come back, what kind of toughness does Tua have?
He's a tough kid. I'd say he's a very tough kid. Whether it's just coming back from the hip. I think he got a thumb last year that he played through. He tried to go yesterday. Toughness isn't something that we question with him. So he's going to do everything he can to get back as soon as he can. I have a lot of confidence in that. No, I think he's a tough kid for sure.
Hal?
Hi, I'm wondering if you could educate me a little bit on the subject of flak jackets. I know a lot of times when quarterbacks have rib injuries, they wear flak jackets. Is that a possibility for Tua, or I have no idea whether these things are custom made and they take forever to make, or whether you're exploring that option?
I think that's something we would look into. I think, to be honest, Hal, I don't have a lot of, familiarity with flap jackets, and I think sometimes it's personal preference for some guys who've dealt with some, let's call it, rib type of injuries. Some guys just, like to wear them because for extra layer protection. I think that's definitely something we would look into, and yeah, I think we'd look into it.
Jose?
Thank you. Brian, I wanted to ask you about the second half yesterday. It seemed like after having a rough start, you were still pretty much in the game in halftime. Why wasn't your team able to step up in the second half and just continue to compete as Buffalo? Was it Buffalo stepping up a little bit, or was it you guys not making the adjustments? Thank you.
We just didn't play well. I mean, I thought we just didn't play well. I think they're a good team. I think we need to give them credit. They did a lot of good things yesterday. We simply just, whether it was communication, whether it was technique, fundamentals, we didn't execute in the way we needed to. And, we had some opportunities early. We didn't take advantage of them, and it kind of snowballed on us.
Cam?
Hey Flo, how are you? How much does maybe the O-line kind of what they're dealing with impact how you deal with Tua this week and coming back with ribs? Obviously, that's not an injury you want to get hit with a lot.
I think we're making the corrections really at all positions. I don't think we kind of go into it thinking, hey, we need, I think we're going to every game thinking we're going to get the quarterback protected. That's always a point of emphasis. Obviously, we didn't do that yesterday. So we'll make some adjustments to make sure that gets done. But no, that's not going to be part of, Tua can go, he's going to go. And that's just kind of the kind of kid he is.
Daniel?
Hey, Brian, I also wanted to ask for a quick update. You said that the team is going to be running some tests on Jesse Davis and Jakeem Grant. Do you have any updates on how they're feeling, whether you expect them to practice this week?
I think still running tests, but, the early indications are, promising, I would say, initially. So we'll hopefully see him out there on Wednesday, but nothing too serious with either guy.
Tim?
Brian, you kind of answered this a moment ago when you said if Tua can go, he'll go. Because it's your quarterback, because it's his left side, his throwing side, the side that theoretically would be more exposed, and knowing that the player is almost always going to say, I'm good, I want to play. I guess how much stock will you put into what his voice says this week? Or do you have to, because this is such a sensitive area for a guy, do you almost have to protect him from himself a little bit too?
I think that's part of the, our conversations, and, as coaches, that's part of our responsibility, is to kind of not put the player in a position where he would and protect the player from himself, like you mentioned. That's always part of the conversation and part of our process. So, and knowing that if he's out there, then we feel comfortable with him being out there. And I think that's kind of the approach we'll always take.
David?
Hi, Flo. Eric's Rowe seeing less snaps. Brandon Jones, Javon Holland saw the field more. I know some of it might be packages, but certainly it ate into Rowe's playing time. What went into those decisions?
Like you mentioned, there's different defensive packages we come up with on a weekly basis. Just trying to get, what we feel is the best group for a particular opponent. And that's the way we went yesterday. Rowe's a big, obviously a big part of our defense. He's played well. But that, we were playing a little bit differently yesterday. I thought Brandon played well. I thought Javon played it well. I thought Cordy did some good things. So could be very different this week. See.
Anyone have a final question for Coach? We'll go to Omar.
Want to get your opinion on Austin Jackson. Obviously, he missed the first game with COVID. I don't know if there was rust involved, but how obviously everybody struggled. But where is Austin performance-wise and mentally?
Got to play better. I mean, I think that's I can't put it any plainer, any simpler. He's got to play better, and he's not alone. We got to play better at a lot of positions. We got to coach it better, and we'll do that. I mean, I think this is a resilient team. I think we're going to turn the page to the Raiders after we get done with these corrections, and turn the page and make the corrections and get back out to practice Wednesday. Have a good week of preparation and give ourselves an opportunity to have success a week from now.